Well, hello, Plant Dr. Bob out here at Waterloo Gardens in Exton in the nursery with our Christmas tree sales area. And we have lots of beautiful Christmas trees here for you to select from. And certainly you may have a favorite tree. I love these Fraser firs that have that lovely Christmas tree smell of the old balsam. And actually the Fraser fir is an improved variety of the balsam. You can see how nice and full it grows compared to the old balsams being much like Charlie Brown Christmas trees. Now, this is a pole that we have here in the nursery, has the different heights delineated on it, because you don't want to get a tree that's going to be too tall for your room or too wide for where you're going to place it in your home. So that's an important consideration with this as well. So this is the tree I've selected. Let's take it from the stand and we'll take it back to where we're going to cut the base and give you a fresh cut. Another consideration in this process is to make sure you don't buy a tree with a trunk so thick that it won't go in your stand. So make sure that it will go in your stand as well. Some of the trees have especially wide bases. And the other thing you want to consider with your stand selection is having one that will be heavy enough and broad enough to support the weight of the tree with all of its lights and ornaments on it. That adds a good bit of weight to the plant. So make sure you have a stand that's going to balance that weight, that your tree doesn't fall over with everything on it. The next step is to recut the base and give us a fresh cut. This is important so that the tree can draw up water because it's been sitting out here in the dirt. We're going to take 1 to 2 inches off the base. And you can see this is at an angle. Now we want to straighten this up so it'll sit level in our stand. 1 to 2 inches, and we'll try to cut it straight. There we go, nice and straight. Now the other thing that's a problem are some of these excess branches, depending on the depth of your stand. We may need to trim some of these excess branches off that the stand pins can be screwed in, or in this case the lever will close on the trunk and pin it in that it's stable. So let's take a few of these extra branches off as well in the process. We'll just do what we call limbing it up. All right, the next step, sometimes the stands will have a little pin in them coming up through the middle. And so if your stand has a pin, we'll want to drill a hole right here in the middle. So that pin can go right up in here. So let's get that square. Okay, make sure we go right up the middle. There we go. That ought to do it. Next step is they'll put it through the wrapper so it'll fit on your car and they'll tie it fast to your car. Then when you get home, what you'll want to do is you'll want to put it in a bucket of water with the Prolong tree preservative. Let me show you that. Now the Prolong tree preservative feeds your tree and keeps the bacteria from plugging up the base. So it will prolong the life of your tree indoors, much as a cut flower preservative would preserve cut flowers and extend the life of them indoors in a vase. So use this in your tree water, outside in the bucket on the north side of your house where it's nice and cool until you're ready to bring your Christmas tree in. And then when you bring it in, certainly set it up in your base. Fill your base with this material each time that the tree needs water, so it has this during its full life indoors. The other thing that you might want to do is you can use some of these crystals, which will help to keep that well filled with water for a longer period of time. These are soil moist crystals. In this case it's Christmas tree granules, but it's the same material, and it swells up and helps to hold the water in there for the tree, that you won't have to water it as often. Also, I want you to take the wilt proof once again and spray the wilt proof on your tree outside. Once again, spray it underneath as well as on top. Give it a thorough coverage, and this will dry on the plant like a polyethylene film, and it will keep the moisture from escaping from the leaves. So that will help to extend the life of the tree. All right, so once you have it at home and you're all ready to take it in and put it in your stand. Let's get our stand here. This stand has a little pin that shows you how high the water is even. You see there? It says stop when you have enough water in the base, and then it drops down as the water is used. That's kind of a nice feature. So we've done everything we could, and this stand does have a pin. Thank goodness I drilled a hole. All right, and let's put it there. Let's get that pin right on there. And this is a really easy one to use. Usually it helps if you work with another person in the household or a friend or a neighbor, because you want to make sure it's perfectly straight. And that'll help you once you get all the weight on it that you don't have it listing. Now this stand is easy to use when you bring the little pins in until they're snug on the trunk. Am I straight? Where's my friend or neighbor? Am I straight? And we want to make sure it's straight from this point of view, and then come around 90 degrees and make sure it's straight from this point. I think I have it straight. Boy, I forgot to tell you, it helps if you put a tree bag in underneath the tree, because it does eventually get dry. You are going to take it down, and it is going to drop some needles there when you finally take it out. So a tree bag in underneath will help, because you just take that tree bag and bring it right up over the tree, and then out it goes to the recycling. Well, thanks for watching. Plant Dr. Bob here. Good luck with your Christmas tree, and if you take these steps, it'll last as long as the tree could possibly last. Merry Christmas to you. Bye-bye now.